Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. In the last video we have learned how we can set up our template in Laravel and Vue. In this video we are going to learn how we can register the user. So let's go to VS Code and let's go to our Vue.js. So resources JS components, and here let's create a new folder with the name of auth, and inside here let's create a new component with the name of register.view to create our register. So now in here I will create a template, and I will go to my the template that I downloaded. So in here I will open the auth register, this on my VS Code, and I will copy everything starting from div id auth up to the last div and paste it inside my template. The next thing that I will do is to come and in the form in here I will remove the action. We don't need it. We don't need here action. Instead of action I will type add submit dot prevent is equal to register. So in here, what I said that when the user click the submit button, prevent the default behavior of HTML, which is when submitting a form, it will refresh the page. So I said submit it. Instead of that, use this method, which we will create shortly. The next thing that I will do in my inputs, in here I will create a view model, which is used for two-way bindings in Vue. So I will type v dash model is equal to email. This in normal HTML we give them a name. For example, name is equal to email, but in Vue instead of name I will just type v model. So no need for name attribute. Same thing I will do for my username field. So instead of in here I will type v dash model is equal to name, and also one more place in the password. In here I will type v dash model is equal to password. Now let's scroll down and create our script for register. So below the template I will type script, and I will type export default. In here I will create the data function, and inside that data I will return my fields, which were the same things that we wrote inside vmodel. One is email, another one is name, and the last one was password. So let's copy them and paste them here, and let's give them an initial value of empty string. Now let's create our method. So for that, after the data I will type method, and in here I inside an object I will create my first method, which is the exactly the same thing that we wrote here. So I will type register, and in here we will type our logic. In Vue.js, to send data to server or get data from the server, we need to use Axios. So before typing our register method, first let's install the Axios. For that, I will come to my terminal. Let's stop this, and in here I will type npm install Axios. Enter. Now let's run npm run dev back. Okay, it's running. Now let's, after installing the Axios, we have to import the Axios. So after the script tag I will type import Axios from Axios, like this. The next thing, now let's create our register method. So in here I will type axios dot post, and my URL will be in here. So for now I will just type URL comma, and inside here I will send that data, this data. So I will copy and paste them here, and I will give him the value of this dot same name. So these are the names of the data that will send with the Axios, and these are the, in the right side, these are the values. Now after this I will type then, which means success. When it's success, get the response, and console show me the response. So I will here to log the response. Now we can also use if it fails. So if it fails, for that I will type cache error and show me the error also in the console. So I will type console.log error. So our register component is ready. Now let's go to app.js and register this. So in the app.js, first of all I will import this. So in here I will type import register from pages slash auth slash register, and in here I will type app.component register this one. Okay, this part is also done. Now we also need to create a route for this. So for that, in my route.js, I will go in here. I will also type import register from components pages auth register. Now let's create the path and URL for that. So I will type register, use the register component. Okay, everything is done. Now first of all, let's go to our browser and test our register. So let's go to our browser, refresh. Okay, okay, in our app.js. Okay, in here in state of pages, I have to write components, and at the end also I have to type dot view. So now let's go save them. Let's go to browser, refresh the page. Okay, so no error. Now let's type here register, enter. As you guys can see, we got our register component in here, but the problem is that I don't want this navbar and sidebar inside my component, inside my register component. So let's go back to our app.js, sorry, layouts. So inside my resources, views, layouts, and app.blade.php. In here, after the div that with the id of app, I will type add f request path is equal to register, then only show add yield content, and else if it was other thing, show these. So after the id of div, and I will close my if statement here. So I will type end f. So in here register path will give me the name of this register here, and here I will say that if it equals to register, only show the content, don't show the navbar, sidebar, and all other things, only show the content. The rest URL is not registered. So now let's go back to browser, as you guys can see, I only get the register component, nothing else. So our front end is done. Now we have to create a back end also, so we can register the user. For that, let's go to our VS Code, and in here let's create a new controller with the name of auth. So let's stop this, and let's type php artisan make controller auth controller. Now enter. Okay, our controller has been created. Now let's go to an app http and controllers. Inside here the auth controller. In here I will create a new method with the name of public function register, and I will say here request dollar sign request, and in here I will create a new variable with the name of user and set it to a new user model. So it will be user. So my id automatically imports this model. If your id does not automatically import, you have to write this one. Now after that I will give it, say user name is equal to what we get from the request, and also user email is equal to what we get from the request. Then dollar sign user password. Now in here I will type hash to make the hash of the password. So I will type hash colon colon make and dollar sign request password. At the end, save everything to the database. So I will type dollar sign user save. Now after this I have, after that the user is saved in the database, then I will create the token. So I will create a new variable with the name of token, and I will say user, which we will get from here, user create token, and give it a name, for example view as a plain text token. So our user is will get saved in here, and we will generate the token. Now I want to return this token for the front end, so I will type return response as a JSON with a 200 code, which means success, and token dollar sign token. Okay, now let's go back to our register component. In here I will in the state of URL that previously I wrote, I will type API slash register. Now I have to create also this API, so I will copy it and go to my routes api.php, and in the top I will create this new API. So I will type route post register and go to auth controller class, and inside register method. uh, yeah, so now let's save everything, run npm run dev here. Now let's go to our browser. Okay, now let's type our email, for example test at gmail.com, give it a name of test, and password also something. Now let's open, before clicking the sign up, let's click the open the console. Now let's press the sign up. So as you guys can see, we got the token. After the registration is completed and we got the token, then we have to save the token in local storage and redirect the user to our home page. So let's go to VS Code, and inside our register component, in here, in our register method, in the done, after the console.log, I will type local storage dot set item token to save our token in local storage, and get it from response dot data dot token. Now this line of code will save our token to local storage, and after this we want the user to be redirected back to our home page. So I will type location dot ref is equal to this. Now let's go back to browser. Now if I come here and register another fake user and click the sign up, as you guys can see, it redirected me back to my home page. And if I come to application and inside local storage, here, as you guys can see, the token has been also saved. So this is the way we register a new user in Laravel and Vue.js.